Hello YouTube, this is Frank from Happy Coder and welcome to the second episode to our C# tutorial series. And today in this video we're going to build together a very simple console application called Hero Summoner. And let me just show you very briefly what this application is going to do. So as we enter the application, we're going to be immediately greeted with this main menu which says please enter the corresponding key to choose from the following options. And it prompts us to hit the S keyboard to just summon a new hero. So we're going to hit S, and then it's going to say please enter the hero's name. For demonstration purpose, we're going to enter Superman as our hero, and as we hit enter again, it's going to prompt us to enter the hero's special ability. So for this section, we're going to enter Flight, and as we hit enter yet again, we go back to the main menu, but this time instead of showing press S to summon a new hero, because we have just entered a set of information for a hero, it now prompts us to hit the P keyboard to print our hero's information back onto the screen. Now there's a typo here, it should be print instead of print, it says print, but that's a minor mistake. So we're gonna hit P, and as you can see, the information we have logged are printed back onto the console. So it says you've summoned Superman, your hero's special ability is Flight. So that's the gist of the program, and there are three major learning points I wish to communicate with you in this application. The first one is the concept of public static fields, and as you may have already know that there's no such concept as global variable in the context of C#, and the closest it comes is to use a public static field. And the second major learning point is the use of Console.ReadKey and consolekey commands, which allows you as a programmer to work with the user's keyboard keystroke inputs. And the third major learning point is the use of switch statement. And with that said, let's take a look at how to build this Hero Summoner app from ground up. So we're going to create a new project called Hero Summoner C# Tut 2. And inside this program, we're first going to create some, like I said, public static fields to hold the information of our hero. So public static string hero name and public static string hero ability. And after we have declared these two public static fields, we're going to create a method to update the value of these public static fields. And since we're just creating a very simple console application here, we don't want to deal with the trouble of instantiation. So we're just going to create another static void method, and we're going to call this method get hero info, empty arguments, curly braces. And inside of the curly braces, we want to update the values of the fields we have created. So we're going to essentially use the same method of updating values from user input as we have discussed in the previous tutorial. So we're going to first prompt the user with some instructions. So we're going to write console.WriteLine, and inside of the brackets we're going to say please enter the name of your hero. And on the next line we're going to say hero name equals to console.readLine, so that whatever the user enters as the next string is going to be updated as the value of hero name. And after we have done that, we're going to update the value of hero ability with the exact same logic. So first prompt the user with some instructions. please enter the ability of your hero. And same deal on the next line, we're going to say hero ability equals to console.readLine. And after we have done that, we realize that we have created a method, but we haven't called this method yet. And instead of calling this method direct from the main method, which is the entry point of this application, we're going to create another method and call it the main menu, and call the main menu method from the main method. So we're going to create yet another static void method and name it main menu, empty arguments, curly braces, and we're going to say console.WriteLine. Please hit the corresponding key to choose from the following options. And on the next line, we're going to offer the user with some options. So console.WriteLine, capital letter S, summon a new hero. And after we have done that, we're going to build a switch statement and implement the Console.ReadKey method to essentially tell the application what to do after the user had hit a certain keystroke. So first we're going to build the switch statement, switch, and inside of the argument we're going to write Console.ReadKey. So this listens to whatever keystroke the user inputs, and after that we're going to output that key using a .key statement and curly braces. Inside of these curly braces we're going to build a series of cases. So case console key dot s. As the user enters the s keystroke, we wish the application to execute the get hero info. So we're going to call the method here, get hero info, brackets. And don't forget to break from this case. A switch statement requires a default case, so we're going to add it right here, default. Since we don't wish the application to execute anything in the default case, so we're just going to leave it empty and just break from it. And now let's test what I've built so far. So we're going to hit Control F5. And after we have done that, we're going to call the main menu method from the main method. And let's test it now. Hit Control F5. It says, please hit the corresponding key to choose from the following options. We're going to hit S. So that's working now, but we still need another method to print out the information we have logged in so far back onto the console screen. So under the get hero info method, we're going to create another static void method and call it print hero info, curly braces. And inside of these curly braces we just want to implement a very simple console.WriteLine method. So console.WriteLine, and remember, as we discussed in the previous movie, C# has its own preferred placeholder syntax for printing variables back onto the screen. So it works like this. So your hero's name is, and we're going to write curly braces 0, comma, your hero's special ability is curly braces 1. Remember, C# is also a 0-based index. Alright, so outside of these double quotes we're gonna hit comma, and the first thing that we wish to replace the curly braces 0 here, so that's gonna be hero name. And the second thing we wish to replace curly braces 1, which is hero ability. So now that's all done. Inside of the main menu we are going to write another option. So console.WriteLine, P, capital letter P, print hero info onto the screen. And we're going to expand the switch statement. So case consolekey dot p, and this time we're going to execute print hero info. And don't forget to break from this case. And let's test the application now. So Control F5. Please hit the corresponding key to choose from the following options. Now, if we were to hit the P option, because we haven't logged in anything, it just returns the variables as they are, which is null or empty strings. This is clearly not something that we want the users to see, right? So how can we solve this problem? One way of solving this problem is to hide this option temporarily and only to show it after the user had logged in something. So in order to achieve that, we're going to implement an if statement. So if hero name doesn't equal to no, then we execute this command. So we wrap this this block of code inside of the curly braces. Now if we test the application again, you can see that since we haven't logged in anything, so these two fields equal to null, therefore this block of code doesn't get to be executed. And now we're going to summon hero Superman flight. And as you can see, the application just exits because we haven't told the application to go back to the main menu after we have logged in the hero's information. At the very end of the get hero info method, we're going to call the main menu method again. And this time, if we test it, if we summon the hero Superman flight, as you can see, it goes back to the main menu as we wish it to. But you may notice that after a while, the screen gets very cluttered. So one way of doing this is that we can implement a console.clear method at the very beginning of the main menu method, so that whenever we go back to the main menu, the screen just empties automatically. Alright, and as you can see, after we have implemented the if statement, and because we have logged in the Superman's information, the print menu now appears on the screen. So now if we were to hit P, as you can see, the screen writes your hero's name is Superman, your hero's special ability is flight. Just to make the application a little bit cleaner, we're going to implement another console.clear statement at the very beginning of the print hero info. And now let's test the application yet again. Summon the new hero Superman flight, hit P. Now the printed information it occupies the whole screen instead of sharing the real estate with some other previous statements. So that's the gist of this program. That wraps up today's video. I hope the video has been informative, and please comment, like, and share the video, and more importantly, subscribe to the channel. And I'll see all of you in the next tutorial episode. Bye bye.